We have already seen in the previous video, in the first 5 verses, about the 144,000, that is specifically the tribes of Israel. Here in verse 6, it speaks about the proclamations of 3 angels. If you read the chapters, you will see that then I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach to those who dwell on the earth, to every nation, tribe, tongue, and people, saying with a loud voice, fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment has come, and worship him who made heaven and earth, the sea, and the springs of water. Then another angel followed, and he says that Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she has made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of fornication. Then a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if anyone worship the beast and his image, and raise a mark on his forehead or on his hand, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out in full strength into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And here is the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. And then I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, write, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, says the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and works follow them. Let me just summarize this for you. There are 3 angels that come here. The first one says about that it's time to preach the everlasting gospel to everyone on earth, and they have to accept the salvation of Jesus as way of redemption, because they have to fear God and give glory to him, because the hour of judgment has come. Right? Another angel follows and says that Babylon has been, has fallen, and that great city is now brought to its knees. We can refer to the modern nations around us, that any of these nations, can be. Some people say it is Babylon, is in Iraq, and so it has to be, but that may not be correct. Some people say that it is US, which is defiling God's things in every possible way, and indulging in casual lifestyles, which is also becoming a accepted norm nowadays. And so the wrath of God is pouring out in a big way. Some people say it can be Saudi Arabia. So there are different theories, but essentially it talks about some modern nation of the world which is accepted at that time, that has fallen. So we are not going to get into which nation it is and all of those things, but for us to just understand and relate that Babylon is a city of great honor and pride, and many nations and traders used to come and dwell there. So it can be any of these nations. We can just broadly put it that way. And so it is now fallen, and that great city, she is now on the verge of destruction. She is now being destroyed. Then a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast, will also try to gather his followers in these times. And so God wants that, the angel of God wants that you should not take the mark of the beast, lest you be tormented with eternal fire. And the saints, of course, they have to persevere, and they have to be keeping with the commandments of God and their faith in Jesus. And anyone who has been dead, from now on they may also rest in their labor, and their works shall follow them. So that is what it talks about from 6 to 13. Now let us look at from verse 14. It basically talks about reaping the earth's harvest. Then I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and on the cloud sat one like the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and on his head a sharp sickle. And so he sat on the cloud, thrust his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. This one Son of a Man is referring to Jesus. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out who had power over fire, and he cried with a loud cry to him who had the sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the wine of the earth for a grapes, a sickle, saying, thrust in your sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the wine of the earth, for the grapes are fully ripe. So 19 and 20 are interesting verses. I want you to pay attention here. So the angel thrust his sickle into the earth, and gathered the wine of the earth, and threw it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. And the winepress was trampled outside the city, and blood came out of the winepress up to the horses' bridles for 1,600 furlongs. This essentially is speaking about the battle of Armageddon that would take place after the coming of the Lord. And at that time, God will fight for his believers. And there will be so much of destruction that it's kind of measured over here in a particular region that pans out in modern day in between Armageddon, may be, in modern day between Syria and Palestine. So it says that, around 300 kilometers, 1,600 furlongs or 1,600 stadia would mean 300 kilometers roughly, approximately. You can find, destruction and bodies and corpses all scattered along, right? And it may also be a stockpile, because it would be as high as a horse's bridle. That is allegorically written over there as Jesus fights to save the believers from the non-believers. So that is what chapter 14 is all about. First, it's about the 144,000, then the proclamation of the three angels, and lastly, reaping the earth's harvest, that is Jesus separating the believers and the non-believers. So I hope you have now got an understanding of chapter 14, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay safe, keep praying, and God bless you.